Now, Blessing, first and foremost, I will talk about that, but I want to talk about the video of where there was actually a screenshot of the report that you sent to the other guy. So where did that screenshot come from, if you claim that you didn't give it to him or you don't know where you got it from?
I have not published any report on my page yet.
No, but it was a screenshot from you. Your name showed that it came from you. It was a conversation that both of you were having. Okay. And the screenshot shows where you deleted your post, but he responded to the post you deleted, which showed the report.
I would have loved to see it.
I would have loved to see it. I don't know why they're not bringing it on. But with that evidence on ground, how do you now say that you don't know him or you don't know how he got hold of the report? Because it was a screenshot of his conversation with you.
I haven't even posted the report. All my documents, I brought it physically to the show.
So where did he get that report from then?
I need to see the report before I can...
Now, what people really want to know is that this your last video, you were actually almost gloating or laughing at people who have dispelled or don't believe in your analysis. And up to now, you have not really given us enough report in depth to really prove that you do have this cancer. So for those who dispel your or who disbelieve your claim, what do you have to say?
It is not in my position to convince anybody about my health issues. I have all the necessary, documents here, there are hospitals, but I don't think it is wise for me to publish my report on social media. People can personally scrutinize, people that are reputable, people that want to check their hospitals, to do their necessary investigation. I don't think cancer is something anybody wants to lie about.
Yeah, but if you say that people don't have a right to your privacy, or to your reports, I think they are very entitled to, because they are donating to a cause. They must know that this cause does exist.
Yes, like from the initial stage, I cried out on social media, not because I wanted money. I was genuinely concerned and worried.
But you also said it was stage 4.
Yeah, when that was what I was told.
Who were you told that?
That was what I was told.
That's
in
what
my
the doctor
report.
told you?
Yes, so that was why when I said stage 4, you could see that.
How did they know that it was stage 4? How did your doctor know that it was stage 4?
It's from the report. When they do the biopsy. I don't know. I'm not a medical...
Okay, let me ask a doctor in the house. This is why I brought her in. Okay. So from what Blessing is saying, she discovered when the first time she went to the doctor, as she said, it was a lump and they told her it was non-cancerous, right?
Yes.
She goes back there 6, 7, 8 months later. Yeah. And that's how she discovered that it was cancer stage 4. So for you, as a doctor, what are the procedures what would you like to ask her concerning how she got from that level to the stage 4 level?
First of all, I'm very interested to know what type of doctor you saw, because there's a lot of disparity that I don't expect in medical personnel.
Okay, what are disparities?
So first of all, when a patient comes to me and complains of a lump, I will not do a biopsy first. I will first do an imaging. So I'll tell you to either do an ultrasound scan if you're less than 40, you're 35, 40. Then if you're above 40, you can do a mammogram before we get to the biopsy. And if you then do a biopsy, depending on what we're suspecting based on your history, you either do a fine needle aspiration cytology or a core biopsy, right? And after that, even if, because what you're describing kind of sort of sounds like you did a fine needle aspiration cytology, right? Even at that, no doctor on the surface of this earth that is qualified would allow a patient to move around with a lump in their breast for 6 months, because you don't know. Even if you do a fine needle aspiration cytology, they can be false negative. There's a very high chance of it being false negative. So you can never tell unless you remove the lump and you do a proper biopsy of the lump.
So what are the consistencies in her story?
So I find it very interesting that so I'm interested to know the type of doctor you saw. What type of doctor?
I think it's an oncologist.
Okay, so now, fantastic. So I work in a teaching hospital. We don't send patients to an oncologist unless you have a biopsy, core biopsy result.
Well, she hadn't had
because usually you start with a general surgeon. General surgeon will establish the fact that it is cancerous. And oncologist is not the first person. Based on the fact that you even said, the person said it is not cancerous, no doctor will send you. That's why I'm interested to know the doctor. No doctor will send you to an oncologist with a non-malignant result?
Like I said, you go into the hospital. I noticed a lump on my boobs.
Was it Lagos or Enugu? Because I
It was
know.
in Enugu.
Okay.
So I went into the hospital, complained
Was it a
to the-
teaching hospital?
No, it wasn't a teaching hospital. It was a private hospital.
Okay, and it has an oncologist. That private hospital has an oncologist.
Let me explain.
Okay.
So walking into the hospital, you go to a normal doctor. I don't even know what they're called, but you went to a doctor, he examined, he found the lumps.
Okay.
That was when he said, let's do a biopsy. I don't know what a biopsy is.
Without an imaging.
No.
That's very strange.
No imaging because
Is that possible?
It's not possible. It's not possible. Because biopsy is very invasive. Nobody will grab your breast and just do a biopsy without an imaging.
there was no imaging.
Was it the left breast or the right breast?
The left breast.
Okay.
Okay, so they didn't do an imaging, they just said go for a biopsy. It was when I went for the biopsy, it took about by
Was
then.
it painful?
What was the biopsy process like?
Yes, what was
Yes.
the process like?
Explain it to us.
I think they put in, I think they gave me the little, I don't know if it's anesthesia to like numb the pain a little bit. Then an incision close to the nipple.
And what came out?
That's not the procedure. We don't do an incision.
I don't know what, but something went into my.
Okay, so
my results are
you
here.
saying that's false? It's not possible to.
No,
is
yeah,
that doing
it's not. It's,
Okay, then
it's not
what's the
sounding
real-
like a fine needle. It's not sounding like a core biopsy. It's not sounding like a fine needle. We use a needle. It's a needle.
This one is like how do I put it? I will call it a machine. I don't know the right terms.
Oh, listen, you're
You
mixing
people are
things
using.
up. We don't use machine for biopsy as well.
That's
It's
what.
an invasive procedure. We use a needle.
Aha, something
needle-
went into my boobs. They brought out some. I think
Where,
they
what
said
part of your boobs? Was it
Exactly,
your
what
nipple
type of
or
your-
was it?
The lump was found under my boobs. It moves sometimes. Sometimes it looks as if it beeps. And so I think around that place, I think they said they bring out. I don't know if there's particle of the lumps or thereabout. That's
With a
what they say.
machine?
Yeah, they took for the biopsy. I'm
With a
not.
machine.
Sorry, is that
Maybe
is
a
that
pin.
No, it's
medically feasible?
no, it's a long needle.
Maybe
and
that's
it
what
has
I'm-
a trigger.
Okay, what's the
It's like
size
a
of the
mini
needle?
gun.
Wait, what's the size of the needle they used for you? If you're going to estimate it,
How do I?
was it like 2
explain
inches long, 1 inch long? How was the needle?
I was lying down, so not like you're seeing exactly what is happening. And I'm not in the medical term, so I don't want to say the
listen, I'm
things
sorry
that.
to say this, right?
Go ahead.
You, I saw that you studied economics, right? Okay, fantastic. Interesting enough, I dropped econs for further maths because economics was very, very detailed and very, very. So, as someone that studied econs, I would expect you that if you have a life-threatening diagnosis, you should know it in and out because. When I see patients with chronic medical conditions, they know their condition in and out. Like sometimes they even know new researches that I have not even heard of because they are trying to survive. I find it very strange that you're mixing radiologists, oncologists. I feel like it's something you should know. It is.
No, it's not something I should know because cancer is not something I am aware about. I've said it
No,
over
but
and
you've
over
been
again.
given this. It's been 2 weeks since you came out to talk about this, and you mentioned stage 4. That was the first video I ever saw from you.
Yes, that was
stage
the-
4. How did they come about that stage 4?
I'm not supposed to know, so maybe at this
It
point we are
is your
going to
life.
be. That's what I'm trying to say. At this point, we're going to be asking the medical doctor. So when this whole shenanigans came out on social media, everybody just said, let's get a second and a third
No, but
option.
Okay, so
How
let me
did you
say
know it was
something.
stage 4?
Exactly. How did you know it
How
was
did
stage?
you
Because
get
he
to the
seems
stage 4
quite
analysis?
confident with that stage 4.
Because that was what I was told. I'm not a medical
How
doctor.
is it possible to say you have stage 4?
Maybe
if
it's
they
Was
haven't
it same
done-
that it was that same Enugu doctor?
Yes.
Is it on in your report?
She's willing-
Exactly.
She's willing to show the doctor.
I will share.
Yes,
I will share.
I don't.
Okay,
I'm
can you show her?
interested
I
to
would
see.
share.
So this is your stage 4 report. Is it the doctor that told you that it was stage 4?
Yes, the doctor
By the time
said
you went
stage
there the
4.
second time?
Yes.
But what?
Just
can I-
based on seeing you was when he calculated that it was stage 4?
I do not know them. I don't want to say.
What
things
do you
I'm not-
understand? Because if someone tells me something, right, I would go and read up on it, right? So what did you understand by stage 4? Because I'm assuming that you don't want to die, right? So if someone tells you stage 4, it sounds advanced, right? Or you don't know that.
Yeah, that's the reason why I broke out on social media.
Social media
Yeah,
to
but how did it
answer
get
the
to
question
stage
for
4?
you. What was social media? What was your goal on social media?
Now, as a medical practitioner, when they tell you have cancer, it's already traumatic alone.
Okay.
I didn't even have the guts to go and start reading. In fact, the major reason I came on social media was I wanted to see people who have experienced the same thing.
Yeah, but the big question is how did you conclude that it was stage 4?
Exactly.
Did the doctor just look at you and say, "Oh, this is stage 4"?
She's willing to share the report.
That is what I
Why
was
not allow
told.
the doctor to look at it?
That was
Okay,
what
the
I
doctor
was
can
told.
look at
Yes,
it.
I'm very interested.
Can she look at it?
That's what I was
And
told.
let me ask you, as a lawyer, if someone publicly claims, sorry?
It's interesting that you're bringing the same results to me because Dr. Odigwe, the pathologist that signed this report, because of course we have
Is this the same report as the one that was?
Yes, the pathologist that signed this result lives in Asaba. And I'm a doctor, of course. I can trace any doctor in Nigeria. And I called him on Tuesday.
Sorry,
and he
before you
knows
talk,
nothing
is that the
about-
same report
Yes,
that
it's
you
the
saw
same
last
result.
week?
It's the same result that is going
Okay,
around
that he said
social
she
media.
didn't post, but it's around.
And this particular pathologist said he knows nothing about this. And he is based in Asaba, not
The
Enugu.
pathologist of the report.
Yes,
there.
of this report is based in Asaba. I know that for an absolute fact.
So he told you
So that's the
after.
first one.
Yes, because yes.
He told you that it has nothing to do with it.
Yes, and he stays in Asaba. The address here is Enugu. He hasn't been to Enugu in recent times. He lives in Asaba,
So,
Delta
President, how do you
State.
respond to that?
This
Let's go
pathologist
ahead and-
stays
like
in
I
Because
said,
you're saying that
Asaba.
the pathologist that you put in that report, which you claim
That
is your
signed
real
this
report.
result, but stays in Asaba. That I know for an absolute fact.
Please, I want
on
to ask
Tuesday.
again.
Go ahead.
Is this report the same report that we saw last week?
Yes, it is. It's
So
the
this
same
same
one.
report that we saw last week, that Blessing you claim you didn't post on your Instagram page and on your social media page, is the same report that that guy,
Yes,
the guy that
exactly.
we saw on the video, which unfortunately they have not been able to show us, is the same report he printed. So
Absolutely.
this is your real report.
So that's the
What
first one.
happened to the brother of the girl who claims that this report was forged?
I don't know who the person is.
So it's not a fake report.
No, it's not a fake
But the brother of the girl that you just saw just now says this report is his sister's report.
It's not.
It's
And
not.
this doctor stays in Asaba.
So are you saying, and number one, we are saying it's you don't know that man. Number two, you're also saying you didn't post this report
I didn't.
to the guy who just spoke on social media.
Absolutely.
But for some coincidence or some funny reason, the reports tally. The report the guy posted and the
Perfectly.
report here, they are totally the same. Word for word.
You
are
know,
now
this
saying
doesn't tell us that it's stage 4.
But
by
you
the
are
way.
now even saying the oncologist whose name is
No,
there.
the pathologist.
The pathologist whose name is there said he doesn't
lives in
know her.
Asaba and he doesn't know anything about this.
So, Blessing, what do you want to say about
Diagnosed
that?
cancer?
No, so the way it works is that, you know, in medicine there are different fields, right? So the process for a person that comes with a breast lump, you don't know what it is. So the first stage is to go for imaging. You come back from imaging. Right now, the modality is to do a biopsy, fine needle aspiration biopsy. Even if it comes out benign, you have to take out the lump.
So
You
in other
cannot
words,
go
should
because you
have- it
cannot
should
be
have been
very
taken
sure.
out from the
You know,
one.
yes, because
regardless
that
of
is-
whether she wanted it or not.
That
it
is the
not your
carelessness.
choice unless you discharge yourself against or you do it against medical advice. It's not likely. You cannot come to me and you said you're not ready unless you're not medically fit. Maybe you're very sick, you're pregnant, you're not medically fit. But it's a if they're thinking it's benign, it's a simple surgery. It's not invasive.
Okay.
It's a day surgery. Some people go home that same day. They do go home that same day.
No, but you see, right now it is they are conflicting. There's already inconsistency. Because on one hand, you are showing her the same report that was displayed last week. Blessing, I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
You are showing her the same report that was displayed last week. Meanwhile, you're saying you're not the one that sent it to that guy.
I have not seen the result that you displayed there.
But
So-
there was a
She sent us
screenshot.
another-
Yes, so like I
So
said,
you have another report to show us.
everybody says, okay, go for an open auction. So I went to Lutz Cancer Center, to do the same stuff. So they gave me a couple of.
What did they give you?
I did my whole stuff. So they asked me to
What
do.
are the
What are the
stuff
stuff? Because you need to be more.
You have to be very, very specific now, please.
I'm not a medical doctor.
You can't say that. You can't.
you have an ailment that is
Yeah, exactly. It's life-threatening. You can't say that.
So
Yes.
So these are the tests I'm running. So maybe when the
Running,
test.
not that you have run.
No, they just asked me to. So
So
I
by
think they-
stage 4, shouldn't you have already run those tests?
They didn't ask me to run this, so it is not my fault.
I know, but I'm curious as to how you came to the stage 4 conclusion
That was what I was told.
without any tests being done.
I mean, this doesn't prove anything, unfortunately, because
What's that report that you
it
have?
just says it states a series of tests that she should carry out.
If what?
It's just a series of tests, chest X-ray, that we do to confirm metastasis, right? But this is not solid enough because I can enter LASUF right now and write anybody's name and write this series of tests, right?
The result is not out.
This is not a result, exactly. So results will be more,
So
exactly.
let the result come out. I can now come back and show it to you people.
Okay. Can I say something? Based on the fact that you said that you're a very vocal person, which I agree with, when you did your cosmetic surgery, which Nigerians generally stigmatize, right? And they frown on.
The BBL?
Yes.
Okay.
And they frown on, right? You were very vocal. You showed us when you were on the bed, your process, your healing. So I'm wondering, I don't know if you know this, but 16,000 to 24,000 women die every year from breast cancer. So I'm wondering why you're not using this opportunity to create proper, clear awareness, because most of these women that are dying in Nigeria, it is from late diagnosis, it is from poor diagnosis, it is from them thinking that it is spiritual. So I'm wondering why you're not using this avenue. And I'm also curious, do you still have the lump in that left breast as we speak right now?
Thank you for this question. I have not been given the opportunity. Like I said, maybe it came off controversial, or maybe because there was an account number that was put out there. I think that was where the whole drama started from.
Which I also have a question about, because
Go ahead, Mom.
I deal with cancer patients all the time. Funny enough, breast cancer. And unfortunately, my patient still died 2 days ago. So I understand the thought process of a typical cancer patient. So usually you didn't have a treatment plan. How did you know how much you were going to spend? Because I know you have a Benz, right, which is quite expensive. You have a car, you have properties. So why was the account number the first thing you put forward? Most cancer patients don't know how much they're going to spend, right? And they exhaust their fund. Bear in mind that you don't even know the stage. What if it's stage 1? That you probably won't spend more than maybe 10 million. And you can afford 10 million.
Perfect question. My account number was not the first thing that was put out.
It was put out that same day, though.
No, it wasn't put out that same day.
I saw it that same day,
No,
actually.
absolutely not. In fact, the first video that was put out was me
Okay,
crying.
so when was it
Yeah,
put
but how
out?
did you know
I
how
think
much?
that was like-
how did you
Yes,
know
what
how
was
much
your
you need to
target?
spend?
What was your target?
I didn't actually put an amount. I just put out my account number.
What was your
and-
target?
What influenced the decision?
Exactly.
Yes.
That's exactly what I want to
The
explain.
decision to put it out.
Exactly. When I cried out, the first thing I did, they said, first of all, when they are doing your...
Who was this day? Is it still this Enugu doctor?
First of all, when they are doing your, maybe when they want to take out your boobs or thereabout, it was exaggerated. So I'm going to say there's
What was exaggerated?
a misinformation, because they are saying if they check your left breast, it would have spread to the right.
Does it
Yes.
necessarily spread to the right?
Because you can't tell. Nothing
That's
is
what I'm
absolute
saying.
in
These
medicine.
are
How could he tell you
diagnoses.
that?
Because you didn't even do an imaging. So how today?
How does he know how whether it
exactly?
spread or whether it has spread?
It's not based on assumption.
And information that was passed to me.
I'm just wondering, what was your target amount? Because now, if your treatment, let's assume your treatment for this stage 4 happens to be 40 million, right? And you have been given maybe 150 million. What happens to that remaining money? So what was your target? Because when people set up GoFundMe, right, they put a target, right? They'll say, okay, $10,000, we're trying to raise 20 million. Well, you can't just put an
specific
account.
purpose.
Yes, you can't just put an account and just be collecting money indefinitely.
And that's what I'm trying to explain.
I don't
the
understand
account
that
number
part.
didn't come up. The first
But
video...
it still came up.
Hold on, let me
listen.
explain. The first video that came up was me trying to get clarity. The second video was me now, people saying, oh, cancer is going to... The first video was me putting out my car for sale. The third video was me putting out my house for sale and my personal belongings.
Okay.
Have you sold them at this time?
You don't get buyers immediately because they're quite high.
Okay.
Yes. So it was when I put it out, that was when friends said, why do you have to sell your property? When you finish this treatment, where do you want to come back to? Just put an account number, anything one can raise. I didn't specify any amount.
Before you ask your question, I would like to ask, at this point, when there's just so much doubt and so much disbelief in your cancer claims, have you felt any urge to refund monies that have been given to you until you can prove that you really do have this cancer?
Okay. A lot of people who said...
Has it been suggested that people advised you that maybe you should do that?
Yes, a couple of people who have reached out, I think a lot of them have not been able to put out evidences. If you have an evidence that you sent me money and you want me to refund you, I wouldn't mind. I would do that.
No, but I'm not even saying wait till the approach you. I'm saying as a matter of principle, because your cancer diagnosis is still unclear even as we speak, that whether you should go the extra mile to ensure that you have all the necessary documents on ground. Show it to the public. This is the stage I've gone through. This is the mistake I made at the beginning, but this is where I'm at now. This is the stage I'm at now. I've done A, B, C, D, E. That will tally to what a medical person expects. Based on that, you've returned the funds, and then when you've now done that, let them now use their own discretion to decide whether or not to still send you the money. Are you prepared to take that chance?
Why not? Why not?
Can I ask you to also how much you have raised so far, or you won't be willing to discuss that?
Well, I can.
How much have you raised so
I think
far?
it should be about maybe 11, 12 million.
You've raised 11, 12 million?
Yeah.
Because we had over 100 million.
They're just exaggerating.
Okay.
Sorry, I have a question, just a quick question. The lump that you found in July that was non-cancerous, was the doctor saying that that result was wrong, or that lump is now cancerous?
Is now cancerous.
Is it possible to have a non-cancerous lump that now becomes cancerous?
No, it's not likely. If, for example, the commonest lump that I would expect you to have that was non-cancerous, that is benign, is fibroadenoma. And fibroadenoma never becomes... You won't live long enough for it to undergo malignant change.
So what you're saying now is not physically possible
Unless
to have a non-cancerous lump
cancer
that
in
now
July
becomes cancerous.
and they missed the cancer in July. That sounds more
she didn't say
likely.
they missed the cancer.
And that's
She
what
said
I'm
they
saying.
said it
That
wasn't
sounds
cancer.
more likely. Even at that, funny enough, my patient last week, her first diagnosis was last November. And she's already so toxic. Like the breast is already fumigating, it's smelling, her arms are big. And so I'm just worried that if they miss the cancer in July and you're still carrying this lump till March, or okay, we're in April now, it's very worrisome actually.
Sorry, doctor, when we say stage 4 cancer, can you be descriptive?
So
What
when you're
is the
saying that
seriousness of
something is stage 4,
Yes.
right? It means
What would
that
the breast
it has
stage 4
spread.
cancer look like?
You can't really tell from the breast. Well, the staging is based on the spread. It just means that it has spread to
Are
a
they visible
distant.
symptoms?
So it has spread to a distant organ. So it has gone to the liver. It has gone to either the liver, bone, lungs. So that is basically that it has spread. That is what stage 4 means. It doesn't really
will
mean
it
the
affect the
appearance.
patient's physical appearance?
Yes, of course. By the time it's going to the liver, and it has affected a lot of the liver, or the majority of the liver, you can start having jaundice, you start having nausea, you start having all those symptoms.
Okay.
If it has gone to the lung, you have difficulty in breathing. But so it just depends on people have back pain and they cannot stand anymore.
Okay, thank you so much for this, and blessing. We all do wish you well.